Hey guys, what's up? Peachy Plays here, and today we are reacting to 5 scary sounds that activate your fight or flight response. Now, I was 17 seconds into this when I thought, wait, I can make a video out of this. So yeah, I'm gonna put it to the beginning, and I'm gonna hate myself for this. Because as soon as I started the video, my anxiety activated. So, yeah, let's get started.
The fight or flight response is a mechanism that our body uses when it's in the presence of something dangerous or frightening.
Okay.
It's a survival mechanism built in us to protect us from anything that can harm us. That being said, the following sounds are meant to induce a feeling of danger and as a result trigger this response.
Oh no.
So, here are 5 scary sounds to activate your fight or flight response.
Guys, don't ever let me do this ever again, please. Because I'm already scared.
Operation Ghost.
I don't know.
During the Vietnam War, soldiers who were hiding in jungles heard blood-curdling sounds that were so terrifying that it not only induced a feeling of fear, but brought them into a state of panic.
Oh no.
These sounds were actually made by the US military, and it was a psychological tactic that was meant to induce a state of fear in their enemies. With that said,
oh no.
The following sounds are perhaps one of the most unsettling things you'll ever hear.
Oh god. What? What? Oh no, I already hate this. Imagine if you're just in the woods and you hear this. Oh god. That picture alone is scary.
Just imagine being inside a jungle in the middle of the night when everything is quiet, and all of a sudden, you hear this. It would be a terrifying experience, and it would surely induce a fight or flight response, which is exactly what the US military wanted. It was hoped that by playing these sounds, they would terrify their enemies by making them think that the jungle was haunted, and therefore cause them to flee out of their hiding spots.
Well,
if that didn't work, then the latter would. Hearing the voices of their supposed dead ancestors, which were the sounds being played, would trigger them and cause them to come out and fight. The sounds were collectively known as Ghost Tape Number 10, which is no doubt a name so fitting for something so haunting.
Okay then, number 4. Oh, by the way, there is going to be a warning on this title, so make sure on the title I give this video. So make sure you read that because, yeah, this is scary. Like, I'm already, like, I was scared at the beginning of the video for some reason. Like, even though I hadn't heard any noises yet, I would just, all I heard was, like, 17 seconds of him explaining what fight or flight response is.
Japanese alert system. If there's anything that can surely induce a fight or flight response, it has to be the US's emergency alert system, which you may have seen on TV from time to time.
I have not.
But something you probably haven't heard of is the Japanese alert system, better known as J-Alert, which is just as unsettling as the US's alert system. The Japanese alert system has a smorgasbord of sounds, all of which are meant to put you in a state of fight or flight during dangerous situations, like there being an incoming tsunami or a massive earthquake.
Whoa.
So, here's something you might hear during a disaster in Japan.
Whoa. Pretty sure, what are you saying? Does anyone know what? Oh, it's saying, there's they're translating it with a text on the thing, okay?
津波警報が出ました。今すぐ逃げてください。皆さん、東日本大震災を思い出してください。命を守るため、今すぐ逃げ。
To the higher ground immediately. Tsunami alert. Wow. Imagine you're just watching SpongeBob SquarePants and all of a sudden this happens.
For someone who's experienced the massive earthquake that struck Japan in 2011, this has to be the last thing they want to hear.
Yep.
As such event must have been really traumatizing. Just imagine hearing a chill-inducing sound coming from your phone, which turns out to be a notification warning you of an incoming tsunami. It would petrify.
Oh, hold on. Story time. So, I remember when I was little, there used to be these alarms where they were super loud and they used to scare the heck out of me. And and I asked my mom something I regret asking. I asked her, what was that noise for? She said it was a notification. And I said, what's the notification saying? And it said that there was a man, like, nearby in the town, like, that grabbed a kid. And that scared me, because I remember I actually almost got grabbed once. We were at the dollar store and walking back, and this man was right behind us. And just wouldn't get away from us. He just kept getting closer and closer until my mom grabbed my arm and pulled me up. And at first I was totally unaware on why she did that. I was like, why did you do that? And she waited until we got in the car, I think, and told me that man was about to grab me. And yeah, I've been afraid to go near any adult stranger that I don't know is nice. So yeah, dangerous world out there. Be careful, guys. Even if you're 15 or something, it's still dangerous. You can still be grabbed. Besides, you shouldn't even be outside now with the coronavirus. People, if you don't want to catch it, then stay inside. Jesus.
Try and stop anyone in their tracks, as the thought of this imminent danger would force our bodies into choosing the best possible outcome from either fighting the threat or running away from it. Obviously, the latter would be preferable. But some people end up freezing in situations like this, causing them to be harmed by the threat. Doubtless,
yep.
This is something you don't want to hear while visiting Japan.
Yeah.
An unsettling transmission. The following audio comes from a user on 4chan who claims to have captured something really mysterious. According to the 4chan user, who, late at night, was scrolling through various radio stations, he came across a particular station known as WKCR, and while staying on the station, he heard a very strange transmission.
Oh, that picture.
Now, it's worth mentioning that he came across this many years ago, somewhere between 1994 and 1995, which would explain the poor quality of the audio. But it is still nonetheless a pretty spooky recording, as it triggers some sort of panic-like response when listening to it.
Nightmares. Oh God. Oh no. Oh. It gets creepier by the second. At first I was like, this ain't so bad. It's maybe the Wi-Fi wasn't as strong as it used to be. But then it got creepier. Way creepier. Okay. Oh God. It got even creepier. Oh God. Change the channel. Why would you stay listening to this? What, for some views on YouTube? I mean, yeah, I like views too.
This has to be one of the most unsettling transmissions ever heard on a radio station. But aside from how creepy this is, proving its authenticity hasn't been an easy task for those who've tried. According to Reddit, this may have been an experimental piece composed by a student who worked at the station, as WKCR is owned by Columbia University.
Sir, I find that you are very incorrect. Yes, first of all, who would write something that creepy? Like, oh my god. How can you just say, oh, it's probably just some student's music work or something totally not some haunted ghost taking over the radio. Like, oh my god. Unless it was a prank, then what? I just don't understand these people, guys. I really don't.
Whether it's actual proof of something paranormal or just an experimental piece, there's no doubting that it induces some sort of fight or flight-like response upon listening to it, especially for those who have no idea what this is.
Imagine you're just listening to some music and all of a sudden that comes up.
Creepy siren.
Like, I know I keep saying things like this, but
now,
still.
You might be thinking that the previous sound was by far the most unsettling. But wait until you hear this next one, as it sounds like it's something straight out of a horror movie.
That picture.
The following sound comes from a siren that went off in Chicago after sensing an incoming tornado. However, the odd thing about this siren is that while going off, it broke down, which ended up making an eerie sound that spooked the entire city. Have a listen to the sound it made.
What? Okay, first of all, if that noise kind of means there's a tornado coming, why are you gonna just whip out your phone and start recording? Like, dude. Like, tornado coming.
Just the sound of a normal siren.
Like, tornado coming. Let me whip out my phone and get some views on tube. and died trying to post it. Because that's totally a reasonable reason to stay.
It's eerie enough.
That's totally how you say it. I don't know. Continue with the video.
Repetitive descending tone of the sound is more than enough to not only activate our fight or flight response, but to also leave you feeling
uneasy. Get that picture out of my face. Get that picture out.
Doubtless,
Thank you.
a sound like this would be perfect for any horror movie.
Alright, last but not least, number
Incoming
1.
attack. Perhaps one of the most chill-inducing sounds has to be those alerts that we see on TV, specifically those broadcast by the emergency alert system.
Oh, that reminds me of something. Okay, so story time again. Sorry if I keep interrupting, but so I remember like not too long ago. Well, honestly, I can't remember how long ago it was, but point is that so I was just going about my regular day, wandering around the house, probably thinking about what I'll do next for a video. When all of a sudden, the speaker we have starts talking, and it says something about a toxic bomb or something landing in like 15 different countries, I think. I don't know. Fortunately, it didn't say where we were. But yeah, that kind of freaked me out. It's like one of those nuclear bombs from, to be honest, I can't even remember who landed it, or even if we knew who landed it. But yeah, that was a little creepy. And my brother had the nerve to tell me and try and convince me that there was like a bomb explosion or something outside. And stupidly, I believed him. I mean, who wouldn't? I can't be the only one who's that gullible. Please.
That uneasy feeling we get upon listening to it pales in comparison to a sound that's notorious for making us feel like something bad is about to happen. And it's a sound I'm pretty sure we're all too familiar with. Yet, it's a sound that we would never want to hear in real life, as hearing it would suggest that whatever it is that's coming is too big for us to escape. Here's that sound that's infamous for stopping us dead in our tracks.
Whoa. Okay, then. Imagine you're just going about your day, and then
the nuclear siren is by far one of the most unsettling sounds to hear, and is no doubt good at turning on our fight or flight response. In fact, it is unlikely that we would ever hear this again, as it's been replaced by the current emergency alert system. But if some natural disaster were to knock out all wireless communications, then you can surely bet we would hear this again, if not something similar to it. And, of course, you can be sure that our fight or flight response will be activated.
Well, guys, that was 5 scary sounds to activate your fight or flight response. And, I gotta say, I'm very disturbed. Like, very. Any of those sounds can freak you out when you're just going about your day and all of a sudden, boom, that happens. Because every single one of these sounds lets you know that, tells your brain that you are in mortal danger. And just imagine that nuclear sound, that nuclear emergency sound going off. And just like, I can already imagine myself running, like, away. But, like, how are you supposed to get away from that in time? Like, seriously. But, yeah. Well, yeah, I hope y'all have a peachy day. I am going to go lie down under my covers now and try and comfort myself. And, yeah. Stay cool, stay safe, and most importantly, like and subscribe and comment below. And share this video with all your friends. Bye-bye.